There was a time not long ago when it was safe to chastise your government. The opposition leader shared the respect of the Prime Minister and President. Now we have a tyrannical democracy where misplaced priority creates abject poverty. To oppose government policy is living dangerously. So now truth is a sin, and lies and deception are the virtues now trending. If I say the government in my land don't care for the local man, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say my green Dominica has been bequeathed to Red China, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say Parliament has become a comedy competition, I'm a wanted man. Wanted for speaking truth, wanted for caring about the youth, wanted for wanting fairness in my land. So I'd much rather be a wanted man than to be a yes man to a godless, corrupt politician. They've hired bounty hunters and character assassins on the radio. Never before have we ever seen a little money make Jumbie dance so. Men of faith selling away their blessings. Parents trading the future of their children. Fortune spent to persecute the innocent. Elimination of opposition and foreign investment. That's politics in these times. If I say law enforcement is blind to the real criminals in these times, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say the businessmen of this land are afraid of one man, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth, simple truth. If I say that one man fools most of the people all the time, I'm a wanted man. Wanted for speaking truth, wanted for caring about the youth, wanted for wanting fairness in my land. So I'd much rather be a wanted man and keep my soul free from the soul snatcher's hands. They say one man is an easy target, but I'm just one of my brothers who they don't know. Seeds of righteousness, when they're buried, they don't die, they just grow and grow. They taught us when we see wrong, we should take a stand. Evil thrives only when good people are silent. A man who hates opposition is a danger to all men. But the preachers and teachers of yesterday are looking the other way. If I say some pastors and priests in this land are hypocrites, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say 2 decades we've been lost and things are getting worse, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say today's school children are growing in violence, I'm a wanted man. Wanted for speaking truth, wanted for carrying on. Man, there is a place that is under the sun, 133 square miles. Even though we're very small, come visit, you'll have a ball. I tell you, this is a paradise. A lot of people don't know we have nutmeg and cocoa. That is how we came the Isle of Spice. So in 1974, Uncle Gary fought for so. That is when we became recognized. But that wasn't sufficient. We wanted independence, so we could be proud like Trinidad. Gary came back from England. That day was liberation. He brought back the ice, gold and green flag. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary to my little country, to my little country. Now won't you join with me and sing this melody? We celebrating 50.
Good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pity Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott, here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. It's now 6 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada.
History, our golden jubilee. No, I know.
Saying a special good night to all of you joining us locally, regionally, internationally, outer, international.
Man, we could not go to school. We wore the white man footstool. Thank God we uncle get.
Patricia and Matthew, a special good night to both of you.
That is why it
Hope that you all are having a wonderful time.
has come. He fought to preserve my heritage. He made the whole sky turn red with
Good night to those of you, the Talking Points crew, the Talking Points family. Special good night to all of you.
equal rights was what
Zoe, good night to you.
important for we to uplift our stand.
Michelle, Allen, good night to both of you as well.
People was not relevant. We could not even walk.
Good night to you, Zayla and Sherma. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight there. Zelia and Sandra, good night.
Happy anniversary,
Neela and Namara. Deshaun, good night.
country. Now won't you join with me and sing this melody?
Someone usually sends a message to me to censor some folks that listen in the UK. Send the message, I ain't seen it. Send it. I'm trying to remember the names, yeah.
Party.
Good night to the listeners via 91.9, 91.5 Real FM, broadcasting out of beautiful St. Patrick. 94.9 We Noise Radio all day in Brooklyn. We'll be joined at 9 o'clock by Sister Isle FM. That's 92.9 out there on the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Sometimes they join a little earlier. I'm not sure if they're on earlier tonight.
You might have the opinion that we are not independent, and in many ways you are not.
Yeah, somebody's saying that they're hearing me very loud. Let me see. Yeah, that should fix the thing there now. Yeah, I think that should be okay now.
Us to move along.
Right, I think that should fix it there for everybody. No, too loud in my ears. Yeah, I think that should fix it for everybody there now.
Helping hand. No man is alive.
A special good night to all of you who joining us via the YouTube. Come on, yeah, let me see you punch the numbers up, man.
This is not time to separate.
Ashma, Agnes, Maud, Kathleen, Errol, all you there. I seen Vanessa, who I seen there again? Phyllis, Alban Harris, Jackie, Raymond, Shanron Thomas, Gemma Warwood, I see you there. Deborah Laborde, good night to you. Maria Noel, Dennis Fabio, Eva Purcell, Velma Pascal, Faith Lynn, Hallie Douglas, good night. Matthew Boyne, good night to you. Gavin, good night, bro. Veronica, Carl Jones, good night. Jacinta Livingston, Cynthia Bartholomew, Denise Joseph, good night to you and your wonderful husband. Michelle Alexander, see you there. Claude Abraham, baby daddy, good night to you all. Yes, press the like, hit the like button. Good life, good night to you. Anna Lewis, Elsie Peters, Lola Williams, good night. Christine Otley, Sky, Kim Creedland, John Mark, Janice Mitchell, Gertrude Abraham, Jamari Grandmammy, good night to you. Marian James, and Edmund Calise and Andrews. Adrian Watts, your beautiful wife, good night to you. Jesse Sherry, Jerome Lewis, Marilyn Ferguson, Marilyn, what going on, girl? Oswald Belfon, Liza Bernard, Islan Mark, Desiree Joseph, Mayana Julian, Dixian Victor, yes, my soldier. Dixian is asked, when you say soldier, right? Dixian, yeah. Rosemary Holas, Shirley and James, Anne-Marie Celestine Grant, a lovely good night to you, my dear. Kathleen Knights, as usual, good night. Jacinta Alves, good night, my dear. And I'm seeing Jocelyn Matheson, Carriacou. Yeah, Trajan John, Manda Jeremiah, Esther Frederick, Beavis John, Stephanie John, good night to you and the home circle, Natalia and everyone. And Kingsley, what go boy? Yeah, me see. Williams Dorsey, good night. Wendy Telesford, Chief Camahon. All right, yeah, no, Chief Camahon does make sure my audio and thing good. Nice. Ron Julian, good night. And let me see who else is there. Erlyn Moraine, Claire Superville, Chrissy, Demetrius, Kenny Buckmeyer, Public Notice, Kenny Buckmeyer. Let me see who's on the Facebook quickly there. I see Joan there. I see Lynn, Cynthia, Kenrick, Jillian Langdon, Norma. Let me see. Winnie Simon, good night to you. All right. Shanron Felix, Dr. Dubois, good night. Laslyn Douglas, Olive McEwen, good night. And Louisa, Edlin David, Charmaine Ragbasing, Marishan Bernard, a special good night to you. And let me see, Cicely Celestine, Junior George, what's up, bro? It's been a while. Linda George, Linda, yes, I know, I'll go fix it, all right? Nice, all right, soon, right. Lydia Alexander, Raquel Charles, and yes, Cynthia Bay, Enoch, good night to you. Veronica, William Sampson, good night. Noah, good night. They love me. Wow, I like that name. They love me. Sherms, good night. Raphael and Sherry, Nakisha, Nursey, Wendy and C. McGuire. A special good night to you. Yes, and Wendell Mason, Antonito, Latoya. You're right. I can't pass you straight. Right. Martin Charles. Yeah, good night to all of you. Good night to everyone on the live tonight. A special good night to everyone on the live tonight, right?
We celebrating.
Let's get going. Hit the like button. Those of you on Facebook, remember to like and share. Those of you on the YouTube, remember to hit the like button. Let me see the likes going up there. Yeah.
The blind could see. This year is
We've got a bit to discuss tonight.
believe.
And of course, it is a Monday, so not quite yet, but roughly around 8:30, we'll open the phone lines. Yeah. Okay, and on a Monday night, we usually give you the opportunity to speak as much as possible.
Not wrong.
So from 8:30, we'll open the phone lines.
Not to mention some brilliance in order.
It's our 50th anniversary of independence, yeah? And let me tell you all, you see me? As far as I'm concerned, go out and take part in the activities. I'm not telling people don't go. Yeah, I not like some people. Yeah? It's our 50th anniversary of independence, not that side or that side 50th anniversary of independence. Independence belongs to all of us. And as such, independence gives us the right to choose if we want to go or we don't want to go. So me ain't telling people that you have to go. But I am saying that it is our 50th anniversary of independence. And as Grenadians, we should support. If you don't want to support everything, but you want to go one activity or another activity, or you want to participate in something, do it as a Grenadian. Yes, I understand. Many people have the concept, I have it as well, that the 50th anniversary of independence, one, has been totally politicized. Everything from the way that they're putting up the colors, to the colors that are being used, to the focus of the celebration. That we're not seeing the focus of the celebration on the people who got us to this point. And I'm not just speaking about Sir Eric Matthew Gary. And we had quite, Jacket Man, good night to you. We had quite an interesting discussion on Sir Eric on Thursday, and on Friday. Yeah, we had quite some interesting discussions in relation to him. But remember, to get to this point, to get at 50, there were many others that helped to get us here. And I'll say this, I'll tell you all early. I'm seeing your messages, folks. I'll tell you all early. On Friday, the main theme of the discussion on Friday is going to be, who are the people that got us here? We're going to go over and choose. We're going to try and select a list of 50 people. 50 Grenadians since independence. We're not speaking about before. So forget Fedon and T.A. Marisho and all of them. No. In this instance, we are going to be discussing people who have, and not tonight. We're going, and I'm telling you all now, so you all can start putting together who you have on your list. But you can't just come to me and say, put that person on the 50 list, you know. You have to actually tell me, and this is, I'm telling you what we're doing Friday night already. You have to give me a reason why I should include that person on the list. Because there are some people, in my head, I already have my top 5. Yeah, possibly my top 7. I already have it in my head. I won't say who they are. But I already have my top 7 in my head. And together with that, I already have several other people who I believe are worthy of making the top 50 list of Grenadians who have done enough, who have done a lot, who have contributed to the development of this country. And as such, they belong on that top 50 list. So in my head, I have my top 7, maybe even my top 10. I kind of playing around with the top 10 already in my head. So when we come on Friday night, we will be having that discussion of who we believe should be the 50 people. If you were to award 50 people, alive and unalive, who have contributed significantly to the development of Grenada between 1974 and 2024, who are those people and why should they be on the list? So I'm telling you all, that's your homework, right? Yeah, we in class right these days. So your homework for Friday is that we will be discussing who are the 50 people, right? Who are the 50 people who should be on a list, who should be recognized for the 50 years since independence, right? So make your own personal list. We're not discussing it tonight. We're not discussing it during the week. We are going to discuss that on Friday night. Yes, we will have that discussion on Friday. Might have to go 3 hours instead of 2, but I might have to come in from 7 for that one. I have a feeling I might have to come in from 7 on Friday night for that discussion. That discussion is not a 2-hour discussion. Because you have to give people who should be on the list and give the reason why they should be on the list. Don't just say, I want person A or person B. Give me a reason they should be on the list. Because I'm sure other people may have a reason that they should not be on the list. Right? But outside of that, tonight's discussion, generally, I intended to be around how we got here. Because there are many things that happened over the years that got us to this point. And how we got here, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah? Yes, I'm that old. I used to watch that movie. You see that movie about 1,000,000 times. Yes, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Of how we got to this point. And we're going to have that discussion a little later tonight. But before I get there, I also want to tell you all that I received a message a little earlier today from one of our ardent listeners. They sent a weather forecast to me, and from what I'm seeing there, and I double checked the information that was sent to us, it seems as though that over the next week, we are to expect a lot of Sahara desert dust. And for those of you that suffer with various respiratory problems, you asthmatic and so on, make sure that you have your medication. Make sure that you have your puff. Make sure you have your Ventolin or your Becotide. And so, if you know that you usually suffer with Sahara, when the Sahara dust is around and so, it is expected that this one is going to be as bad as the one that we had just before Christmas. Remember, you had a lot of dust around that point in time. That what is heading our way over the next few days is going to be much worse than what we had last month. All right? And remember, at that point in time, and those of you who work in the medical field and are attached to the medical facilities know that anytime you have that surge of Sahara desert dust, you end up with quite a few people ending up at the general hospital and so having to go and take the, what they call it again? I did it once because I'm asthmatic as well. Where they have to put you on the machine and once I ever did it. Right? And you have to go and get your injection and that kind of thing because the asthma start to act up and all of that. So those of us who are asthmatic or have other respiratory issues, you need to make sure if you don't have your Ventolin or your Becotide and if you don't have it, make sure you secure it and you have your Ventolin or your Becotide and thing and you're ready because the dust is incoming. It coming. Right? So over the next few days, you might realize the place is a little hazy and so on. You may realize if you have children that have it, you'd realize that they're wheezing a bit and that kind of thing. So you need to make sure that you have your medication, everything is in place in case, all right? Just in case. Make sure you have your stuff in place, right? Also, outside of that, I saw a release on Saturday, I believe it was, that came in from the Ministry of Health, and it spoke to the suspension of visits to the Mount Gay Psychiatric Hospital and Rathdoon. So I'm hearing now, and I've seen that release coming in from the Ministry of, it's coming from the Government Information Service on behalf of the Ministry of Health, and it reads, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs notifies that effective Saturday, January 27, 2024, visitation at Mount Gay Psychiatric Hospital and the Rathdoon unit at the Mount Gay facility has been suspended until further notice. Have been, right? Anyway, the public will be notified when visitation resumes. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs apologizes for any inconvenience caused. And I was trying to find out what was the situation, why that was done, and I'm hearing that there's an outbreak at the facility of COVID-19 at the mental facility. So Ministry of Health, if it's not true, say it's not true. Say that's not the reason that you all closed down. That there is an outbreak there of COVID-19 as well as chickenpox. That's what I've heard. That you all have had to be isolating patients. And in the present situation, it is difficult to isolate patients at the mental facility, but that there is presently an outbreak of chickenpox and an outbreak as well of COVID-19. And I'll say this though, if that is happening at the mental facility, watch out for the prison, watch out for the general hospital and so on as well. Because usually when you have this chickenpox and things, sometimes you hear it running rampant in the prison, all kind of thing. So Ministry of Health, just in case, because I know like all you have different minister and thing now, so they might need a little assistance. Because we have family and thing that's been in them place and them too, right? No, not the mental home, but the other one. And well, not even the other one, but at least the hospital, right? But at least put measures in place to protect people at the other facilities, please. So they've suspended visits to the Mount Gay Psychiatric Hospital and Rathdoon. I'm hearing it's because of a chickenpox outbreak as well as a COVID-19 outbreak. Yeah, and with COVID-19, I'm seeing stories out of nearby St. Lucia. They've already had 3 deaths for the year thus far in relation to COVID-19. Hopefully, Grenada remains death-free. Yeah, hopefully we remain that way when it comes to COVID-19 and so forth. All right, so we have to be on our P's and Q's. Those of us that need to wear mask, wear your mask. If you believe that you can, you're in one of the critical areas, you have respiratory problems, you've been on medication that has weakened you recently to fight back some infection or so on, you're a cancer patient, either immediately after you've taken your treatment as your chemotherapy treatment or so, or presently on chemotherapy treatment and so, whatever it is, speak to your doctor and let them recommend if you need to get the vaccine. Yes, so that you can be vaccinated if you so desire. All right, and again, I'm saying that at least it should be available. The vaccine should be available, and people should know that it is available. So if you want it, you go and take it. Yeah? Me ain't calling nobody stupid if they want to take it. I ain't calling nobody stupid if they don't want to take it. I ain't in that. Yeah, each person has to make a decision on their own if they want it. But it should be made available, and there should be information going out there to the general public that vaccines are available for those who want to update their vaccination, that it is available and you can come in and get your vaccination and so on. All right, so COVID-19, it is out there. I'm not sure on the figures for the past week. I did see the figures for the previous week. We went over those, I believe, on Friday. But for the last week, I'm not sure what the figures look like. Probably we'll be hearing a little later in the week. So remember to sanitize, wash your hands with soap and water, that sort of thing. Remember, if you're coming down with flu-like symptoms and so, if you can stay away from people, stay away. If you have to go around people, at least wear a mask and sanitize and that sort of thing. We know what to do. We've been through it, yeah? COVID-19 is not wasn't 20 and 30 years ago. COVID-19 was just 4 years ago, really. Yeah? 4 years ago in March is when we had the first COVID-19 case here in Grenada. All right? So we need to ensure that as a people, we do what is necessary to reduce the number of COVID-19 cases and the impact that it can have on the economy with people sick. They're at home, they can't come out to work, different things like that. Let's try to reduce it as much as possible so that it doesn't impact our economy, it doesn't impact our country as much as it possibly can. All right? And of course, it is just about 3 minutes before the 8:30, before the half hour. And as I said, on the half hour, we'll start taking the calls. Yeah, we'll start taking the calls on the half hour.
Helping hand. No man is an island. I came to that conclusion. We all need.
Another interesting one that I saw over the weekend. Yeah, another very interesting one that I saw over the weekend. I saw the Planning Authority. Well, for the last week or more, I've been seeing this ad. During the news and other programs, I've been seeing this ad from the Planning Authority about some of the little businesses that people have thrown up around the country and so on. So there are some people. This is Grenada. Yeah? Good night, Shane. This is Grenada. And let me tell you something. I read a document from back in about, was 1910, 1912, the Grenada Handbook. Yeah? Now, when British foreign officers had to come to the Caribbean or other territories, what the British Foreign Office used to do before they sent these people to the colonial holdings is that they would give them a booklet that spoke to all aspects of life in that territory that they're going to. So there's a Grenada Handbook. There has been a Grenada Handbook that spoke to things like the plants and the people and all different aspects of the history, the culture, and so on. So that foreign service officer, when they got to Grenada, understood a lot about Grenada, Grenadians, or culture, all these things. Now, you know, one of the things that even in the early 1900s, they said about Grenada, they said that Grenadians by nature are a very entrepreneurial people. That has always stuck with me. I was reading, I'm trying to remember if it was from the 1910s or the 1920s that I read that in the Grenada handbook. They said that Grenadians by nature are a very entrepreneurial people. In other words, Grenadians always try to turn their hand to make an additional dollar or to make a dollar. They're not just going to sit down and say, hand me this and give me this and give me that and give me the other. But Grenadians by nature, we are a people that will find a way. Yeah? So whether it's to make bag of juice and freeze it and go and sell, we'll do it. Yeah? Whether it's to go and parch nuts and walk around with a basket and sell it, we're going to do it. Yeah? Whether it's to climb the skin up tree or the tambran tree and then tie it out and go and sell it or go and catch the crabs, and we are an entrepreneurial people. We try to make ends meet through our own enterprise. Whether it's our own little garden or backyard garden, so we sell some sweet peppers or so, and you see some fellas passing around with baskets and different things and they're selling. But that is the nature of us as Grenadians, and they were not wrong. That is and always has been the nature of us as Grenadians. So when you see these little businesses at the side of the road, yes, you may have issues with them in relation to the particular area that they are set up and so on. But to simply decide that you're going and bulldoze from a side is a wrong approach. So tell me, in the instances that they're doing this, now on one hand, you have the planning authority saying to all of these people and putting up pictures of what they're talking about. So we know them. The little guys that might have a little booth at the side of the road where they sell some drinks and they have a little bench at the side and they sell some drinks or so. Or the people that set up a little, I just call it a 4x4. They set up a little 4x4 within a distance of a secondary school or within a distance of a primary school, so that when the children going to and from, they can buy a little snack on their way going in or on their way coming out or during their break time. They go there and they get a little snack and that sort of thing. And that is how some people are able to pay their utilities, to send their children to school, yeah, to feed themselves and their family, even to take care of loved ones who may not be able to take care of themselves. That is how they do it. They deal with that. So to wake up one morning and just tell everybody that you have them placed at the side of the road, that basically take out everything in your place because we come in and break it down, I think is heartless. I think it shows a lack of emotional intelligence. And we need to find Dr. Pancho. I'm sure where Dr. Pancho is. If he on island or off island or where Dr. Pancho. We need to discuss emotional intelligence. Because I am absolutely positive that this government lacks emotional intelligence. It is sorely lacking. Because if you had emotional intelligence, the approach would not be that we just go in and break down all them things on the roadside. The approach would be, let us find an appropriate means of relocating these individuals, because that is how they're making a dollar. Yes, we are not saying that it doesn't have to be moved. Don't get us wrong. We're not saying that in some instances they don't encroach on the road in a kind of way that's causing a problem. We're not saying no. But you all are the same people that go and plant palm tree in the middle of the road in River Road. You all are the same people that your MPs are writing to Grenlec for connection for some of these same types of buildings up to last week. Some of your MPs have been writing to Grenlec to get permission to connect electricity to some of these same type of buildings that, on the other hand, the planning authority is saying these buildings have to move. And again, we are not saying that we should be a lawless society. We're not saying that, no, these people and them, you don't have to find some way to put them. But emotional intelligence is what a Dr. Mitchell-led government would have done. Is what a government that have people like Mr. Gregory Bowen, like Miss Emlyn Pierre and Peter David, and Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters, and Dr. Clarice Modest. Yeah? A government with these caliber of people would have known that if you're going to do that, then emotional intelligence, common courtesy, caring for people would have said to you that, hey, the approach is not take your stuff out of the building, we come in and demolish, and we starting today. Because I saw something come out this morning. Let me see. The Planning and Development Authority is partnering with stakeholders to undertake a comprehensive demolition drive to remove illegal structures along the nation's roadsides. The ongoing initiative, which commenced, meaning it has already started, in January 2024, aims to create a safer and healthier environment by removing structures erected without permits. So I hope I'll go in and remove the bus stop that MP Ron Redhead put, because he had no permits for that one, and he put it on somebody's land. So if you're talking about remove that, and then go a little more south and remove the nonsense with the palm tree all you put in the road after they take the time and widen the road so that the vehicular traffic could pass properly and pedestrians. You all decide that you're going and create this miniature island at the side of the road now and put palm trees and so on, and that's nice, isn't it? You all are the same people that's sending up, and don't try to take yourself out there. Planning authority is government, government is planning authority, government is all you. Massa bull, massa cow, it come from cabinet. The ongoing initiative, which commenced in January 2024, aims to create a safe and healthy environment by removing structures without permits, those in the state of disrepair, those occupying crown land without proper authorization, and those obstructing public roads. Unauthorized vending, roadside garages, and other illegal structures, as well as the illegal storage of vehicle debris, pose significant negative impacts on the environment and Grenada's overall infrastructure. I love how you all try to cover it in. Yeah? Remove the vehicles. No problem with removing derelict vehicles from the side of the road. In fact, I have previously spoken about that issue, and I am very satisfied with what has been done thus far in relation to the removal of derelict vehicles around the island. Yeah? I'm very satisfied with. Nothing is wrong with that. I'm glad for that. But why is it that when you all are doing things, and we even start on our theme for tonight, but I just had to talk about this one. Why is it that every move that this government makes is targeted towards the poor and vulnerable in this country? Why is every move that this government makes targeted towards creating unemployment, targeted towards attacking people who just trying to make a living? So, okay, you move the vendors in town. Okay, people, we need to be able to walk in town and so on. We understand that. But in the same way that you move the vendors in town, you could have put them back over by the National Stadium. There was space there so that you could have relocated the people and said, well, okay, we're relocating you. Instead of just kicking the people out of town and say, you can't vend, you can't sell here, go home and sit down. But at least create another opportunity that these people would have been able to earn a living. Because I, for myself, even though some of them used to throw word for me, used to go over by the National Stadium and purchase fruits and vegetables. I used to purchase across there sometimes because sometimes it was easier for you. When I was driving, you drive across there, you park up, you go, you take your time, you buy what you have to buy and so on. You throw it in your vehicle, road. Yeah? So it was easier for a lot of folks. So instead of just saying, town do I enough space, all you go. We understand. The people who are walking through town need to be able to walk unhindered in town. We understand that. But also understand that the people that you're moving are human beings as well. They are people with families and commitments that they have to meet. They're human beings. Some of them with children, some of them with elderly parents at home that they're taking care of. Yeah, some of them are single mothers. So these are the people that you're just telling, move. So now when you just come with this kind of heartless thing and just telling all these people and them, well, all your building have to go. Move them building, well, take out all your stuff from there because we're demolishing. Yes, you could understand in some instances, but at least has any thought, has any consideration been given to relocating some of these people, to saying, hey, you cannot vend at this point because we intend to widen the road. The road is too narrow. We intend to widen the road. We intend to widen the road to the point that you can have 2 vehicles passing and you have a lane to pull up in case anything, and you have a path to walk, and so we want to widen the road. So you can no longer vend here. But we are offering the option of you can vend here. Instead of just telling the person, take your thing and go home with it, we mashing down your place. Because that is what the general public out there is getting. That is what these people who own these businesses, and note, they are businesses. They create and miners and D.A. Monroe and Huggins, and so when the sales van pass, they are the ones who are buying from Grenada Bottling Company and Grenada Breweries when they pass. They are the ones who are buying from Clark Scott and River and Twine and Wester Hall Rum. They are the ones that buying from them as well. They are the ones that buying from the little traffickers that go down Trinidad and come up and drive around with their van and sell little items, flour, this, that, the other. They buy from them as well. So when you remove these people, you are not only affecting them and their family, you are affecting the traffickers, you are affecting the big businesses as well. Maybe when the big businesses are affected is when this government might care. Because it seems as though that is all they care about, big business. Because every single move has been against the poor man. They go after the barbers and the hairdressers and the nail techs. The last thing I saw, they sent out something to them again. I can't remember, I think it's March or something they're looking at with something to be certified. By that time, they have classes to certify and all kind of things now. Yeah? So it's always going behind those people at the lower middle and lower income bracket. So whether it's the vendors in town, whether it's the people that have the local booth, that they're selling the local items and so from close to the road, yes, we understand. So tell them we'll move you back. Yeah? Tell them we're going to move you back a few feet. Tell them we're going to give you an area here or there or different things like that. We're going to zone an area. Because these are how my goodness, man, understand that these are how these people survive. You're threatening their livelihoods. My goodness. Emotional intelligence, seriously lacking when it comes to this government, seriously. It's seriously lacking when it comes to this administration. The thing called emotional intelligence is not even just lacking, Idode, I'm telling you straight, it's not there. No one is saying, and again, I want to hammer it home, no one is saying that illegal activity should be allowed to continue. We're saying provide alternatives. It's human beings you're dealing with. It's not dog that you send out dog catchers to catch. It's human beings you're dealing with. We have a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Hello. Oh boy, that connection bad. That connection bad. Caller, you gotta give us a call back, caller. I don't know what happened with the WhatsApp computer itself is giving the problem tonight. Yeah. You might have to call me directly. Yeah. 440-7377. Yeah, you could call, folks. 440-73. Somebody's asking, would they be bulldozing Wall Street where certain MPs go and sit down and eat? I don't know. Maybe they may say it's not encroaching on the road or whatever. So I don't know if the intention is also to go and bulldoze Wall Street. But the notice is out there and they're saying that they've started. So we have a call online. Just load the volume. Just load the volume. Good night. Just load the volume in the background and go ahead.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, just give me a low on the volume in the background and you could go ahead there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, go ahead, call.
Yeah. Yes, hello, good night. I'm calling on the behalf of the cooks of the nation children.
Mm-hmm.
You hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly. You go ahead, I'm hearing you clearly.
People and them, right now, we the permanent cooks and them, we hurting. Because we've been working for years. And they say that they're going to raise everybody pay. And we, the permanent cooks, we don't get no raise of pay. And we salary is $900. You hear? and I'm talking, hello?
Go ahead. We're hearing you. You go ahead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. And right now, last month on the 15th of the month, when they raise, everybody pay. All the money, everybody get pay. Cooks were in the kitchen working for 26 years, 19 years, 30 years, and we is the head cook. Right now, we alone because they don't hire nobody. And we there in the kitchen working for all these years. And up to this blessed day, they don't raise we pay at all. We salary still remain the $800 and the $900. The 15th of the month, we get it, the money and thing. Tell them people and them, I know if Deacon and the generation and them listening, we cooks working too hard. We working too hard in this kitchen, and that is not fair for them to raise all the Imani pay. Imani who come in and work, people who come in and work 3 years, 2 years, now come in and work. Them getting more money than the permanent cook where they 30 and 26 and 20 years. I mean, come on, man. We looking after the nation children. And some school, most of the school is only 1 cook and 2 cooks, and that is the salary we get in. When you hear the month up, we don't get in no money. Some cook getting $95, $100 because when we pay back with mortgage. That is not right. And they say that they're raising the salary. They say they're raising the salary. Nothing for we cooks. I mean, come on. Nothing for the cook. We are alone in the kitchen. We going inside the go and all what we doing, we looking after the nation. We going inside the kitchen strong. We coming out prepared. When we come out, they don't instead giving us nothing. They don't instead telling us thanks. I mean, come on, they don't treat people like that. And all the cooks right now, they go the whole of Grenada, all of us hurting. Because when we go the 15th of the month, we don't get nothing. We go back again this month and nothing for us. I mean, come on. We looking after the nation children now. Children, we don't have no men in kitchen. We have to raise big, heavy pots. We're not happy. I mean, where the Minister of Education, he was in school feeding. He know we cry. So come on, man. We all are human. So what they doing us that for? So we don't have a heart. All what we doing, we looking after the nation children now. That alone we looking after the nation children. And now they come in and say they want to take out the dollar and the school feeding. When they take out the dollar and the school feeding, more work for us. And then we don't get him pay for that. Look at me. I'm afraid to say when the month up is $120 I just get. When I pay my little mortgage. And what about other cook where I rent to pay children to go to school? What, they don't have a heart for us? I mean, come on, man. All you say, all you give people $1,200, all you say, all you raising everybody pay nothing for we cooks for their years. And when we go home, we don't have a pension, nothing to get. Nothing. When was election time? They take cook pay slip and campaign over it and say we working for next to nothing. Now what they reaching power, they forget about us. Nothing about cooks again. I willing to go to meeting to see them. Nobody refusing and I ask to hold a meeting with them. I mean, come on, man. We human beings and we doing a good job. We like the nurse, we like the doctor. Because if we don't feed the nation children, the children that hurt them is the cook. The belly hurt them is the cook. They fighting the cook. When them teacher and them don't come into the school, we cooks are looking after them. And then when time come now to give us a little money, all they find is hard. Nation, the cooks and them. I mean, come on, man. Mr. Deacon and your minister and them, all you have a heart, all you talking about love, and that's what all they doing, they cook. We look after some of your children and all you find is hard to get a little money. Nothing. When we go in the bank, we do shame. If we fall sick, we need a stove, we need a thing. We're gonna get a little loan, and the loan, the people in the loan now they say want to give us money because our salary is so low that they're refusing us to give us a little loan. And all the point about 12, we didn't sell deserve $1,200. We had to get out $1,500 and $1,600. That is the condition for the night test. So then, I hope they're listening now. I hope they're listening. All you have a good night.
All right, my dear. And believe me, they're listening. Yeah, they listening and they well hear you. Yeah, they well hear you. We've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Good night, my brother. How are you?
I, Clifford Bridgman, could satisfy what the lady say with a lot of truth. I don't know the lady I speak. I didn't hear them. I don't know where she from. I didn't hear where she from. I can tell you that the cooks do a great job in the kitchen, and it is tough work. I have been part and parcel together with the cooks when I used to be in the school, helping them raise the big pots, helping them to go and look for wood to put under the pot sometimes when they had to cook certain things. I can testify for that. They have times when the chicken comes, they have to mash up the chicken and separate it and put it in freezers. I can testify that the job in the kitchen is not an easy job. And I feel that cooks should be paid properly. I am telling you that by 12 o'clock, and I had to deal with more than one school, by 12 o'clock, 11:30, most of the children could say they get their food already. And then you have to stay back in the school and wash all these utensils to get them for the next day. It is not an easy job, and every cook should be given what is due to them, regardless to whatever time they buy, whether you're a Imani or you're a full trade cook, you should be given what is due to you. The government say that a minimum wage is, you should not get less than $60 a day, and that should be. The cooks and them should not fall less than the minimum wage. I am telling you, I'm not asking that. I was part and parcel of the schools, and not just St. John's and St. Mark's. It is not an easy job. And the people are them. Some schools have 2 cooks, some have 3, some have a little. Well, it depends based on the amount of children, because schools in Guav, the Anglican school in Guav have about 400 children. The Catholic school in Guav have about 200 and something children. The school in Loreto have about 100 and something. Right? So it's not, what the lady say is quite true. I don't know where she's calling from. But I'm saying, what is good for the goose must good for the gander. They should be treating the cooks better. For you to tell me that a cook getting $900 and you raise the price of other cooks now, and they still can't reach to it, it is not fair. And the opposite must come out and speak on that thoroughly. The opposition party must come out and speak on that thoroughly. Thank you very much, Mr. Sheldon Scott.
All right, thank you. 4407377, and we have another caller on the line. Let me just punch them in. Hello, good night. Hello, good night, caller. You're alive. Hello, good night. Okay, we lost that caller. Let's go to the WhatsApp. And folks, if you're not hearing me on your end, but you realize that I've answered, you just go ahead with your points. We have a caller online. Good night.
Yeah, good night, Sheldon. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm quite fine. You go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling again, and I'm calling from St. David's. Sheldon, that's the same person that they call and tell you I do the piece in St. David's up here. So
still haven't been paid.
I don't get paid. Up to this blessed day, I don't get paid. Over a month now. Up to this blessed day.
And is it a situation, and you have workers who watching your cross eye now?
And them men and them calling me for the money. They calling me for the money. Yeah, one of them calling me and tell me, what can I show you this is that man? I say, well, it's not me, you know. It's not me. You understand? Up to this blessed day, they didn't pay me yet. You know, the men doing like, you know, you're getting money and you don't pay them. Man, I fed up over a month going now.
But you know something though, they get the new salary for the first time within the in that space of time while you haven't been paid. They get a new salary. They touching the they was 14,000, around 14,000. Yeah, they touching the 14,000 now, you know, a month, and you still waiting for your money. But they getting theirs.
I fed up now, man. I'm telling you, I'm fed up.
Caller, I listened to the Minister of Finance on our program about, not this Sunday, but last Sunday. And he was trying to put the blame on us. He's the Minister of Finance. So he is supposed to ensure that who has to do the job efficiently, instead of blaming this one and blaming that one and blaming the other. Because I realize now it's a blame game. People don't want to hear the blame game. They don't want to hear the excuses. They want the solutions. Pay the people. Yeah? Not only yourself, and I've been getting messages from the people that work on the road. Quite a few of them messaged me over the weekend. They have not been paid. Some got paid apparently, and others, no, they haven't been paid.
Well, listen. Well, this is something. I was speaking to a young lady the other day. She was telling me that she worked on the house, the program doing the house and thing, and she said that the prime minister didn't want to continue with that work, like the house and thing, like building house and thing for people. He didn't want to continue, but he happening. And she said that she had to get paid and she don't get paid. But she said she called some secretary she called, and then she said the secretary, she said, let me call Scala. That's what she told me. She said, let me call Scala. After then she said, oh, when she get back now, they get back to her, and they say how Scala say that the program is supposed to end December, so they have to meet. The government have to meet in Parliament and thing to get finance.
Mm-hmm.
To sponsor the project.
Honestly, caller, what happens is that government wraps up spending usually around October, November. They wrap up general spending. Now, when the budget is passed, if the budget is in December, when the budget is passed, now that authorizes government to start spending in January. So sometime you might have a delay for a week or so. But what has happened in this instance is that this government has doubled the workload of the finance officers in every ministry. Where a finance officer, let's say there are 300 people in a particular department. So the finance officer has to do the salaries for each of these people, including with this one might have to pay the credit union and fast cash. That one may have to pay some money to, let's say they have money to pay to the court or whatever it is. So all of that, that finance officer has to make sure that all of these documents are done and they're being paid properly and the money going where it has to be done. Now, previously, they had a full month to make sure that's done. Well, not a full month, but by the 15th of the month, they get all the documents together and submit it for payment by the 27th of the month, 28th of the month, people get paid. Now, what this government has done by bringing the bi-monthly is that they have to do that in basically a week time to pay the following week. You understand what's happening now? They double the workload for these people. And what they used to do once, they have to do twice a month now. And then the same people that took the decision to double the workload of these finance officers in the different ministries are the same ones cussing them now and saying that the finance officers not doing the jobs. And again, I say, if the union don't want to say it, I go say it. You can't be...
Yeah, shame to bring it back monthly?
Yeah. All right, my brother.
I need me money. I don't know what's going on. I need me money.
Okay.
The work already done already.
All right, my brother. So we're gonna continue on it until you get your money. All right. No problem.
Nice.
440-7377. It is Monday night, so we give the preference to you all. Now, I've been checking the minimum wages order, SRO number 42 of 2023, and under that, I'm trying to figure out which area they put them under. Because any area you put them under, they're still supposed to be making more than $900 a month. Anywhere they put them. We have a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, caller. Go right ahead. You're live.
I just want to speak on the separation that they want to do with the people that is vending on the street, on the side road. If they can't just take the people out and send them away like that. They should have a plan. Build in the same area, just go further back, build a building where they could separate it, in booths like, and have the people pay a rent for the booth. Make it more decent, because it's plywood thing and all kind of pieces of thing you see they pack thing by the road. It's really ugly. Mm-hmm. But make something decent and allow the person to make a living. Because they're calling people beggy and all them sort of things. When they send them home, that beg, they send them to one beg.
Mm-hmm. It's between beg
and
you know what the other option is.
What they're creating. When the people trying to make a living, they have children to send to school, they have bills to pay, other things to do. Use the head worthwhile so that they could get some praise. All we could do is only criticize because they don't doing anything good. Thank you.
All right, my dear. Now, folks, I've been checking the rate for workers, for cooks, workers in the hospitality industry, and the rate for cooks is $9.50 per hour. Still trying to figure out how the cooks are still only receiving $900 if a cook is $9.50 an hour and a cook assistant is $8.60 per hour. And that is off of the document that they have put out there. That is out of the minimum wages order of 2023. So anything I'm quoting there is from them. All right, we have a call online. Good night. Hello, good night.
Hey. Hi, Senator Scott.
Hey, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I just was listening to you there, and I was going to call you to tell you the problem with the salary thing is the bi-monthly thing. Because, Senator Scott, you have to study that first. Not people in the diaspora just say because we get paid sometime every week or every 2 weeks. But that was something been studied. You just can't just go and tell people, I'm paying you every month. Because remember, we collecting a VAT. And most time we used to collect the VAT, I think, up on the 24th or the 22nd or something so, every month. Now, you have to find out when they're collecting the VAT, Sheldon. Because these people inside the office have a lot of work. It's a lot of work, Sheldon. You just make the point there. And I know you have no government minister talking about that. But what they're doing, they're trying to put the blame on the people inside the ministry. And that is wrong. I'm telling you, man. I'm in Canada here and people is calling me, crying out. It's too much work. We had at least 20, 25 days to prepare ourselves. Now we have less than 12 days to do it. You just can't implement a system just so. You have to put it on a trial. You started one ministry, you could remember NNP tried, I think one told me the police. I could be wrong for, correction and that. And Dr. Mitchell and them had to go back to this thing. And Dr. Mitchell warned them about it. He said, only when it works, I could accept that. But for now, he's still going to, just have a look and see how they're going to operate that. And right now, Sheldon, they're not telling us the truth. That is the biggest problem. We only talk about delay and you'll get your money, man, and you'll get your money. You tell me you're going to pay me by the 15th and every end of month, I'm looking for my money. Because the past government, when you have to get paid month end by the 25th up to the 27th, your money is in the bank already. So what is the problem? It is the bi-monthly. It is a strain. You understand? And they have to, come forward and explain to the people, man. Don't do that, man. It's hard. Have a good one, Sheldon.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101 for those of you in North America. You can call. I realize a lot all in North America. All you down here. I hear some people get a one-way ticket to Grenada. I hear a lot of one-way ticket pass, boy. Come on down. You understand? Yeah, a lot of one-way ticket pass. But I'm checking the minimum wages order. If you consider them domestic workers, they can't get under $60 per day, which works out to about $1,200 per month. Early childhood workers, if you want to bracket them there, they're supposed to receive $1,200 per month, and that was effective the 1st of January. Let me pull it up as I'm speaking with you all here. That is as of the 1st of January this year, and $1,400 as of the 1st of January 2025 next year. All right. So whichever bracket you want to place them in, I think they have them employees here, right? So workers in the hospitality industry, cooks $9.50 per hour. So according to how many hours, and you work that out, I'm still sure it's more than 900. And the cook assistants, $8.60 per hour. Again, if you work that out for the number of hours that they have to go in, the cook and everything, and then after they clean up, the prep for the next day, and so I am pretty sure that they should be earning above 1,200 or above. Yeah. So if you're hearing that they still receive, you see, it's the dishonesty in the way that this administration puts out information. They try to give the information in a way that leads the general public, and especially the diaspora, to believe that what they are doing is all encompassing. So when they make the statement that we are, for instance, they said we are going to increase Imani by 500. One, they didn't explain that the Imani who are working in the private sector, they didn't, when they was pushing that and talking about that all up to budget, everything, they didn't explain that the Imani in the private sector will not receive that. Yeah? Then on top of that, they did not explain that not every Imani would receive 5, but that all of them would receive a payment up to $500 that brings them to $1,200. And even those in the public sector, there are many in the public sector who did not receive the increase. You also have the situation in various ministries where people are seeing other people who are working at the same grade as them, doing the same job as them, with the same arrangement as them, receiving more money than them, and they are just being overlooked. So you're seeing, imagine you working with somebody, two all doing the same job, two all at the same grade or level within the public service. Yet the other person get an increase and you ain't getting nothing. That's demoralizing. That is demoralizing. So I'm seeing these things happening, and again, it goes back to the thing, emotional intelligence. Yeah, emotional, understanding how people feel, that you're dealing with human beings and trying to work with them. This government has they don't care. It's just booting. Yeah? And it's all, listen, what did they do? They removed freight on the port. The government gave up $6 million by removing freight on the port. Who benefited? Big business. The big importers, the people who import in a lot of stuff. Big business are the ones who benefited when they rolled back the cost of the freight on the port. That government gave $6 million basically back to big business. Did big business hire additional people? Did big business pass those savings on to the average person out here? No. But when it comes to the poor man, everything bad for the poor man. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller.
Brother Sheldon. I remember the Minister Andrew said in a meeting that when the people ask him and tell them they're going to pay late, he said they won't pay late, they know how to get money. They know how to get money. And Brother Sheldon, from time the government come into this government take control, people start to get money late. People getting late have a problem getting their salary. Some working and some get the contractor getting paid, some don't getting paid. Right? But Sheldon, what is the problem right now? Based on when the government to collect revenue, somewhere on the 24th or 20 something on the month. Right? And so for the government to pay that 50, they must have a backlog of money stored up there so that they could pay that 50 for 15 of the month salary could be paid. But if we're depending on that money for every 21st of 27th of the month to pay the 15 and 5 is 20 or 20, so you already, that will be a problem, right? You know, so they sell it, the salesmen are selling something, a product, but the product they're selling is to try to fool people and feel that they're okay and things are okay, right? That is how the government sell. They remember how they sell the thing with the permanent. They sell permanent. Everybody will be made permanent. With the pension, when they sell the pension, everybody go be getting pension. Even people in the private sectors believe that they will get pension too. How they sell. So they sell something to fool the people of Greater Carriacou and Peter Martin. But in the heart they know what they're doing is just tomfoolery. And Brother Sheldon, I want to say again to the caller with the cook. To the cook. I know the cook work hard. They deserve to get more on the money. They deserve it. So you come now like who working hard, who living hard for the people, for the school children. The government finds it hard to give increase in salary. But them means who are working hard. They don't manage in the ministry where that they is supposed to be managed properly. They don't manage, but them is one and the friend who always get an increase and get it fast. So the pen don't get a stroke for them. But when for the poor people who working hard and laboring hard to give the children in the school the cook a proper meal, and when for them to get them is a problem. So my advice to the cook and to the people who get a problem under the government, you know, there's time running down. What you need to do, your children, your grandchildren, everyone, make sure they get registered, and to get rid of that problem, you have to vote on this government from office.
Right.
That's my
Thank you. Nice. Okay. 44073. Look, I didn't even deal with what I was going to deal with tonight. You know, I've got to leave it for later in the week anyhow. 44077. Yeah, it's Monday night, so I prefer to hear from you all. Yeah, I like to hear from you all. What you have to say on these issues. We heard from a cook, and believe me, that cook, while she is brave and she has called the program and she has laid bare her case, she ain't talking for herself alone, you know. She talking for them cook and them throughout the state of Grenada, inclusive of the islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. We have a call online. Good night. Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night.
Good night, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
Yeah, good night, Sheldon.
Good night. Yes, go ahead, caller.
Yeah. Sheldon, what I'm taking on with the bi-monthly payment is that the government did not assess the situation properly, realizing that Grenada is a small country with just about 100,000 people. What percentage of that population pays taxes so that you could have bi-monthly payment? We don't have a million people like Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, Guyana, England, America, Canada, and things, so that you could collect these funds so that you could pay bi-monthly payment or fortnightly. They run and do things that the previous government wanted to, but when they assessed the situation, they realized that it could not work. So they had to put it aside just to make people feel that they could do things and do things in the right way. They do it wrong, and now the people have to suffer because they have to wait until they collect enough money to do that. As you rightly said, and we know, they give up over $600 million on the port. These are money that could have helped
6 million, not 600 million, but 6 million.
To meet the obligations, to meet the daily payment. They did not do that. They give it away. And the money did not trickle down to the man on the street. The people who goes to the supermarket and buy it. They pay the pension and they say money go out on the street. Where pension go out on the street? When you give people who inside already and have big money to get, and they put it in the bank, it just soaking in the coal. You think the common man on the street getting that? He doesn't get that. They got that inside and they're still waiting for more every month to put it what they have. So that can go on the street. How they go get it? If you won't empower the poor man with money, the poor man is the man that go in the shop every morning. As the shop open, first thing in the morning, he's in the shop. The first salesman pass on a morning, he come in to the shop, and that's when the shopkeeper turns over that money. The shopkeepers in the villages wait on the poor man to spend, to turn over money. And when you bar the poor man from getting a day work, especially along the debushing line, how do you expect your country to prosper? It cannot prosper. Shame, they won't go back to the regular monthly basis because they boast and they brag so much. Now it's hurting them. So the Minister of Finance throwing his people in the finance thing under the bus. Well, not under the bus, on that train, he's throwing them. So when they look for them in pieces, they get nothing.
My goodness.
So that's what they do. They're throwing them permanent secretary on that train. Have a good night, Sheldon.
Thank you so very much, caller. 440-7377 347-329-3101. Yeah, and someone just sent the calculations there for me. I did some brief ones myself. And they're saying if one of the cooks are working at $9.50 per hour, at 8 hours, that's $76 per day, $380 per week, $760 per fortnight, $1,520 per month. And remember, the minimum wage order said cooks are at $9.50 an hour, and a cooking assistant, they're at $8.60 per hour, and 8 hours, $68 per day, $344 per week, $688 per fortnight, $1,376 per month. We have a call online. Good night. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Kiame, good night.
And good night to the Grenadian people. Sheldon, I listened to you talking about the people that selling by the road and they want to break the shop. These people and them, they did that to me when I make a White House under NNP time. A morning I went to buy ice in the fish market. And when I come reach under the tunnel, there were some people there. The man from Guam, Mr. Duncan in Grand Lake, they pull out the current. Grenadians is wicked people, you know. They're very wicked. And I heard that little place, they're so nice. Well built. It was not old shack. And that was under NNP. That was under NNP time. Mr. Danny Williams was the Governor General at the time. And they take my thing and throw it in perseverance. A hemorrhage like a pig. And physical planning was right in the same building. So I know this Grenadians is wicked people, but thank God. You see Peter David, I will always stand up for that man. I don't want to hear nobody say nothing. People for Peter David, or I end up in the mental. All my drinks get sour. All my drinks get sour in that little fridge. In the same building, I had flowers. I had it clean and nice. And as the lady say, one of the people say, talk about, I used to wait for the van, and the van and them used to come to me only. Mr. That man he was a minister in Grenville, Mr. Andrews. He died now. I used to order me butter bread. I used to have me currant roll. The people in Nawasa, the people in housing, the people in the Ministry of Finance, Court, Harvard, used to support me, and I didn't do them nothing. Nothing I didn't do them. And they break my shop, the We White House. The We White House, and it was a registered business. I had nice flowers. I had every little thing, the Seamus and Marby, and under NNP they break it. And look how bad I is now. It's a bad NNP now. God is good, but there are some wicked people in Grenada, and they knew a lot of people used to support me, and some of them didn't like that. Physical planning was right there by the museum in the corner there. And the people take me down and they throw me things in the perseverance. I could never forget that. So I know what's going on. I know how the people feeling. And you know something?
Mm-hmm.
Not a vendor in Grenada stand up with me. Not one. That is to tell you. Not one vendor stand up there. The police come and then police come. A guy named Gomez used to come and drink me Simas and drink me Mabi and drink me thing. That man that come and stand his cause. That's a cousin of mine from Sotez. Stand calling and say, leave the lady alone. Leave the lady place. All the police and them was very upset. The man come and the man break my shop. And that man in Guam, that Katai man working in Grenada, Mr. Duncan in it, come and make them pull out the Quran. Them bitch and them, and I'm still there. Thanks to Peter David that come and sit with me. And he put me on St. John Street. He said me, go on St. John Street, you have a place there. And he put me there. And after Mr. George resigned, that was my former boss, George resigned, that come and he applied for me to get that place in the terminal. You have a lot of wicked people in Grenada. A lot of wicked people in Grenada and a lot of them in high places. And they send the small man to do the job. But them behind, I beg Mr. Anthony Boston. That I was the Minister of Finance in the finance day. And I used to clean there. I beg them. They never stop these people. A lot, some of them there today, and some of them dead. Some of them they bedridden. Some of them they just stay in the house. They don't even come out. But I'm still here. Thank God. Peter David, I will always love you. I defend you. I will always defend you. Thank God for that man. Because I'm right up in the mental. I tell you, a hemorrhage. I start to bleed. Right there. Have a good night, Grenada.
All right, Kami. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And 347-329-310. Yeah, 3101. Yeah, saying the right thing, right. And again, and because I keep getting more messages in relation to it, it seems as though salary increases is for some people and not for other people. And it seems to be a bit strategic that is people who they perceive to be leaning a particular way, that having the problems, that not receiving the salary increases. Yeah? So whether it's Imani trainees, so outside of the Imani trainees who are not in the public service, so who they have officially told now, after the Imani's done sharpen the knife already, because they hear that how they're getting an increase $500, who start to jump up all kind of thing. Yes, we getting $500 increase, they can love us. And now they realize they ain't getting a cent. And the others who thought they were getting 500 and get 200 or 100 or whatever. And then those who are supposed to get and getting absolutely none. You see, this government, and I'll make a statement here, this government likes to speak in artificial intelligence hyperbole. Research what I mean when I say that. They love to speak in artificial intelligence hyperbole or hyperbole. Yeah? Some people say hyperbole, some people say hyperbole. They love to speak in artificial intelligence hyperbole or hyperbole. Yeah? That's what they like. Because they give you the impression that when they've made that move, yeah, everybody going to benefit. This one going to benefit and that one going to benefit and everybody going to benefit. And then at the end of the day, you realize it's a totally different story when the execution of what they have promised take place. You realize it's only their friends benefiting. We have a call online.
Good night, Sheldon.
Good night, my dear.
Yes, and the cooks and them at the schools.
Mm-hmm.
They're working, I think she said 30 years and 20-something years. And how many years are they working? Right? So what I am saying is although they're getting what they're getting, and when they work it out as a person, say how much they're getting, they're entitled to increase their salary because cost of living is going up. And what she is saying is like that salary they're getting is stagnant, like it's one place. So they need to increase a salary, regardless the $1,200 they say is the whatever it is. But they are working a number of years, so they're entitled to the increase of salary. To me, like they're stagnant. They're entitled to an increase of salary because cost of living is rising, cost of living is going up. They have their children. So they need the increase of salary. Ministers and them that need an increase of salary, as she said, nobody studied them. She went to look for who, and she not seeing them. So they need the money. Thank you.
All right, my dear. And as you raise that caller, let me say this, when it came time to increase their salary, the first increase, when they increased by $24,000 a year, they didn't ask nobody, they didn't do any consultation, they didn't have any committee put in place to decide whether or not they should increase by $24,000 a year. They didn't put a committee in place. They didn't ask anybody. They didn't do no consultation around the island. They didn't even do no consultation through the parliament, nothing. They gave themselves $24,000 additional a year. And now they've given themselves another increase. Now, when you hear them speaking about minimum wage and all this kind of thing, it's because they kind of had to cover the fact that they take a very significant increase. Their salary has doubled between the time when they came in office and now. Between their first salary and now, their salary has doubled. In fact, what one of these ministers is receiving now on the bi-monthly, in other words, the half that they're receiving in the 2-week time, that is equivalent to what an NNP minister was receiving for the whole month. So they're getting 2 times what an NNP minister was getting. And maybe even a little more very soon. Not maybe, but a little more very soon. Yeah? But they make sure that they set themselves up. So when you hear they say, they're giving the Imani something. So people go say, well, yeah, they take an increase for themselves, but they give the Imani something. They take an increase for themselves, but they give the people under seed something. But the vast majority of people under seed ain't get nothing. The vast majority ain't get anything. No increase. In fact, what some of them getting is thrown off the list. So they ain't get nothing. So in order to cover the fact that they gave themselves such a significant increase, they come and they say, okay, minimum wage, we're doing this for this one, but is it sustainable? It is all well and okay to say that you're increasing wages to this level. In my humble opinion, being someone who never studied economics at any level, I would have thought that if you cannot maintain increased wages, the direction you would have gone is try to decrease the cost of living. So you would have put in place measures to reduce the cost of living, to reduce utility prices by significant levels, a 10-15%, a 5%, to decrease the cost of utilities, to decrease the cost of the majority of foodstuff that Grenadians consume. So that you would have looked at a basket of goods that contains the items that most Grenadians use on a regular basis, inclusive of foodstuff and other items that they need for home, detergents, etc., and try to reduce that. So that instead of necessarily having to increase the salaries by a significant margin that is unsustainable, you could pay it this month, you could pay it next month, but the third month you find yourself in problems. You have to trim staff because you're not making enough money to continue paying X amount of staff. What they had to do was try to reduce the cost of living. I'm not an economics student, but I think that's just plain common sense. But then again, we can't accuse them of that. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Don't accuse the people of having common sense. It will take a little court. All right? 440-7377. And a reminder again, we're having that discussion on Friday night. I want you all to call me on Friday night, not tonight, not during this week, but put your list together. Put your little pen and paper and put your list together. And tell me, if you're doing a list of 50 Grenadians who you believe have contributed the most to Grenada between 1974 and 2024, who are the people you would have on that list? Yeah? And don't just tell me who are the people, eh? You have to give me a reason why that person going on the list. Right? So we're going to have that discussion on Friday. Tomorrow, we are due to have on with us. I'm not sure if they're going to be on via Zoom or via call. We're going to have Mr. Alvin Dabrio is due to be on with us tomorrow. Yeah, so we have some things here. Yeah. We have some things we had to talk about. All right, yeah, me and Brother Dabrio, we had to talk tomorrow night. All right, so Brother Alvin Dabrio, he's going to be our guest on Talking Tuesdays tomorrow night. All right, so that definitely is on for tomorrow. Again, 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside. And folks, tonight I had really wanted to delve into another area tonight, because I think as we are approaching 50, there are so many things that have happened that got us to this point. There are so many points in time that we can point to that has gotten us to this. Yeah, that have gotten us to this. I mean, if you look back at the year 1990, did you ever think that you would see Test cricket here in Grenada, or that you would see World Cup cricket here in Grenada as we saw in 2007? Did you ever think that you would have been able to stay here in Grenada and see the West Indies cricket team come and play against Australia, or come and play against England, or come and play against India, Bangladesh, all these countries, South Africa? Did you ever think that you would see the cricket stars that you were hearing about, you're listening on the radio, when some of us as little boy had to climb up on the roof and go and turn the antenna because the cricket match was getting hot and the signal go. So we had to climb the roof and turn the antenna. Yeah, a little children, you know what we're talking about. Yeah, it had a thing called antenna. It used to be on top of the house. And me being the slim, smallest, lightest one, you start to go up on the roof to go and turn the antenna the proper direction to get the signal until the over finish. And they hear to say, hold it there. You're about to bowl. You understand? Yeah. Did you ever think that those things, you would have been able to see all of those things here live in Grenada? We have a caller online. Good night. Hello. Good night, caller. Hello. Good evening.
Good night.
Good night, caller. You go right ahead. You're live.
Yes, at the program?
Yes, sir. You're live.
Sheldon, that's my second time I call that program.
Lovely.
I want to ask you a question. As I said earlier today, which are the party what bring politics into independence over the years? And most people try to say there is division and leaving out the real party what caused this division, because I could remember in 1999 when Dr. Mitchell had the independence celebration in Queen's Park, there was urging people not to go. And they was trying to have some other occasion, some other activity to allow people to divert people. So I don't think that should be a problem, as most people say. We know who caused the division, who caused politics into. This is why this independence presently now, I don't know, asking if it's a national event or if it's a party event, because I was one of those who was in the struggle with Sir Eric Matugeri when we go through independence in that night, so I know the whole story. Sheldon, your program is too short for me to explain what that man has done.
I may
also,
have to
Dr.
do three.
Mitchell, what he has done, I joined him in 1995 until 2022, and I could tell you, if I go to call what I know, achievement that this leadership and party, your program is too short. Lastly, I want to know if the man who they expect the gracious offer, get his gracious offer, because I find that matter seems so quiet these days. I'm not hearing anything about the parliamentary rep who was expecting a gracious offer. I don't know. I find it quiet, so probably he must have received the gracious offer. You might be able to tell us. I thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. You know, boy, I find only some people getting gracious offer, and them gracious offer ain't passing other places and things. Some serious gracious offer passing, man. But caller, you've kind of touched on what I was talking about there. The fact that there are many things that we probably never thought we would see in Grenada. I remember speaking of quite recently of what used to obtain in the 1990s when a cruise ship came here. And you see, folks, a child that was born in 2000 is now going to be 24 years old this year. Yeah? They're going to be 24 years old this year. A child that was born immediately after, or just the year of Hurricane Ivan. Because Ivan would be 20 years ago this year, innit? Ivan will be 20 years ago this year. 20 years past on Ivan already. So a child that was born in 2005, they will be 19 this year. A child who was born in 2004, they will be 20 this year. They don't know anything about when you had to build cruise ship port and all these things were taking place and you had to... They know about them thing. They don't know about having to go and take a bus in the market square. They don't know about going and take a bus over in the market square and so on. You run, you get your vegetables and thing and you jump a bus to go wherever you're going and that kind of thing. Unless you was going Grenville, which is where you had to go over by where the bus terminal is there now and so. Or if you was going Grenada, you go over by the health center and so to get your bus. But these young people don't know about these things. They came and they meet it. But they don't know how these things come about, which is why I always say we must speak to the younger ones. Yeah? They don't know about Queen's Park. When it's intercall and them young people start to jump up on the pavilion and thing until it break 1 year. I can't remember if it's high school or convent or who break it. But they jump up on it until it break. Some of you listening probably was the ones jumping up on it until it break. They don't remember these things. They wouldn't remember because they don't know. So when cruise ships came to Grenada and the cruise ships used to have to stay out in the water and the tenders, because I remember the Osprey company, Osprey Express people, they had some tenders that used to go out to the cruise ship and bring people in. Yeah, they had some little tenders that they had for those purposes. And if the water too rough, the cruise ship turn and he go. But now you have a cruise ship port. And all that Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and the New National Party went through when they were going to build that cruise ship terminal is what you didn't hear. By now, Grenada's beach was supposed to have washed away because you had people saying that all the waves hitting at an angle right there in St. George. And when the waves hit there, it does reflect over to Grenada's beach so that the cruise ship terminal is going to refract the waves, and they're going to go over to Grenada's beach and take all the sand off of Grenada's beach. Yeah? Those were the confusion and thing. I remember when Port Louis was being developed. And again, in the 1990s, early 2000s, Port Louis was a dump. That area was a dump. No if what up, it was a dump. It's all iron. You getting tetanus. Just by watching there, you could get tetanus. And when the plans came for the development of there, some of the same people you see, and I want them go because the people and them there, the restaurants and them there, you have to support them. But the same people that go in and sit down there and knock wine glass right now and drink champagne, the same people that going there right now were the ones that fought against the late Peter de Savary. I remember Mr. de Savary having to go, and then they don't exist again. CC6, Channel 6. Yeah? One Sunday morning having to go there to defend himself with the project that he wanted to do there and how he wanted to develop there. And you had people that were saying that, oh, if you drill there, you're going to raise the volcano. There's a volcano. And if you put down piles there, you're going to raise the volcano. and who was saying they used to swim there as a little boy, and you can't come and do nothing there because they want to be able to swim there, but you should have seen where they wanted to swim. One pile of old iron rusting. Some of them look like they was from back in World War II. It still had a piece of helicopter from the American invasion hanging up there. In fact, I think that piece of helicopter is still hanging up there. Up to today. I think it's still on a tree somewhere there. And these people were saying, they fight against that. They fight against the development at the town of St. George. They fight against that. When the new stadium was being constructed, the Kirani James Stadium and so, it had people that was fighting against that as well. So every move that was made to help develop Grenada, you had to basically fight to get it done. And there's a lot of development that took place. Many of you remember when the East Coast Road was done and when the West Coast Road was done. Yes, it's time for them to be done again. But remember that it was done before. And there's only one group of people that was able to get that done. So you had the Eastern Main Road done, you had the Western Main Road done, you had the road in places like all Woburn and so when that road was done. Yeah? I remember the bus drivers in Woburn, when they were complaining, they say that if you come out from the hospital and you had stitches, you can't pass down Woburn because the road's so bumpy and so you could burst the stitches. And that work was done to redo that Woburn road and all over. When you had all that was done, you had the ministerial complex that was done, and you had, when you had to go and do something, I used to take part in Festival of the Arts. So I remember where the Ministry of Culture was on the Carriacou. I was always interested in different things, so I used to be over with the Ministry of Education, used to be over in the Juilliard. Yeah? And tourism and culture and youth and sports and so used to be on the Carriacou. And different ministries used to be all over the place. And the NNP came in and said, no, you can't have that because you're renting here, you're renting there, and so you should bring all the ministries together. And then they did the ministerial complex to locate everybody in one place. Yeah? So you have all of these things that have taken place. And we didn't even go further back to the revolution itself and the things that the revolution did. And the achievements of the revolution, and before the revolution, the achievements of Sir Eric Matthew Gary between that period 1974 and 1979. Yeah? So we have to look at these things. We can't just say, okay, it's 50. And then the main focus is who in government now. Who in government now, 100 years from now, may never be mentioned. The name Sir Eric Matthew Gary, like him or don't like him, love him or hate him. Yeah? Even if you despise him, 100 years from now, one thing that we are certain is that his name will still be mentioned when you speak about the history of Grenada. The same is the case of Maurice Bishop. 100 years from now, when you mention the history of Grenada, his name will call. The same goes for Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. And they could love him, they could hate him. They cannot take his legacy away. 100 years from now, his name will be called. All of you might be dust already. Some of the children might still be alive. They might make 100 and something. Yeah? Some of you in your teens right now might make 114, 115, 116 or more. You never know the improvements. You might even make 130. But the names that I have mentioned there will always be historically mentioned years from now. You ensure these people who are in office now, who are trying to make the independence focused on them. So they're going out and they're taking pins. They're going out and they're doing this. They're going out and they're doing that. And they're not even honestly making an attempt to be inclusive. They're not making an honest, truthful attempt to be inclusive. It's all about them. It's so much about them that you find people who are not even part of the government structure. They're not in the Senate. They're not in the House of Representatives. They're not on any government entity as far as we know. Outside of they probably might be on a board somewhere or the other. And maybe that had to be investigated, but that's the only thing. Yet still they are out there and you're trying to highlight them as though they are representatives and they are this and they are that and so on, because it's all about them. So they have forgotten Sir Eric Matthew Gary, and one night we have to talk about the achievements of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. We have to talk. 2 hours might be too little. Definitely will be too little. You see, we had to take 2 nights to talk about Sir Eric Matthew Gary. But you cannot talk about Grenada between 1974 and 2024 and ignore the people who have contributed. And there are many, you know. You could speak about people like Miss Thelma Phillip, Anti-Tech. Why would I mention her? Because Anti-Tech is somebody that helped keep the culture alive and maintain the stories and different things. And there are many other people. And as I said, we're going to have the discussion about them, the people who you believe and why. And that discussion will take place on Friday. But I'm saying in the broader context, that the focus of this thing, in fact, I even see something. Well, I had to laugh because I saw something was sent to me. And I was wondering if the words of the anthem change. And what I'm seeing is up in a government facility, and I think I have it somewhere here. And it's up in a government facility. And when I see that, I say, no, there's something had to be wrong. No, man, they can't make a mistake like that. Now, you see, where is it? Oh, goodness. And it's disappeared. Where is it? I had it somewhere here. Yeah, I'll find it. Right? Let me just see if I can and get this here. Right. Yeah. Because I am wondering. Yeah, I'm wondering if our anthem, if you're doing something to represent our anthem, yeah, if the words of our anthem have changed, and let me pull up and show you what I'm speaking about here. Yeah, let me just tell you what I'm speaking about here, right? And as far as I know, this is at the hospital. Yeah, I think the words of the anthem kind of different, isn't it? If you're quoting the national anthem of Grenada, it's a bit different. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night. How are you doing, Brother Sheldon?
Hey, I'm quite fine, man. You go right ahead.
You're right. You're making some valid points, and I just want to make a point. I realize that what happened in our country, that people just don't want to see good things happen for this country. I remember I go back as far as Uncle Gary. People supported the revolution. I have no problem with that. And today they begin the revolution more than independence, the 50th anniversary celebrating. Dr. Keith Mitchell has done so much things for this country, has lived the nose of ordinary people in this country. And he ever said that people in this country just don't want to see nothing good for this country. I remember I was in town and I saw it when they was dredging to get the fish market. I remember the comment Dr. Keith Mitchell said when he had to walk from Happy with fish to bring for his grandmother. Today these people are now shelter. You know, and people in this country just don't want to see other people survive. We have this kind of mentality that no small man should drive a car, no this person should have a business, and this bringing down people. And I believe it's time that this thing stop and people realize that at the end of the day, we have to be able to do things that all of us and our children can benefit. Look at St. George's today. As you mentioned, the bus terminal. Look at the bus terminals. Nobody has made an effort to do these things. Dr. Keith Mitchell has done so much. And at the end of the day, we have to give him the praises for the things he have done. Everybody might not do everything the same way. But at the end of the day, we have to take in consideration of every individual in this country. And it's time that people realize that it's not just one plate of food that I have to share for one family. It's have to share for all of us. And it's time we start pulling on this country and get together and make sure that whatever we do benefit the families and the children of this country. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. 4407377 and 347-329-3101. For those who are calling before I had the phone engaged, I'm very sorry about that. Yeah. No, I'm saying, as far as I know, that's not the words to the anthem. Yeah, something ain't too right there. But that's what has happened. And that's up in a government facility. That's the kind of thing. And the caller is very right. Yeah? Because when I think of people that can make my top 50 as people who have contributed to Grenada, I have people in mind who somehow they might never think that a person like me would say, yeah, put them on that list. But I have my reasons. Yeah, that I believe that that person should be, or this person shouldn't be, or so on such a list. And we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, I just called back. This last caller, he speak a book. He speak a book. You know what has really hurt me, Camille, as a Grenadian? When I hear Grenadians that live in this country say Dr. Michelin do not know God. That man work for this country. I asked him at times. I asked him why he came back to Grenada, you know. I asked Dr. Michel that. He was dropping me home after church. And I said, Doc, why you come back in Grenada? You had been working in America. And he said, you know, the people need help. So he come back. You understand? Grenadians, Mr. Scott, to say the man don't do nothing. Ray Robert and them say that the terminal when I was building there, go wash up Grenada Beach. Today, every Grenadian pass through that terminal with a water nut. They pass with a food. They pass with a nut back and forth and make $1. That man walk and he deserves some thanks from these people. All these ungrateful people and a lot of you going to suffer. A lot of us in Grenada are going to suffer. That man do his work. I'm not saying the other people in work, you know, but if me can work in this country, even right where I live, Mr. Scott, was a little track. I can't sleep in the night now. Vehicle up and down, up and down. Up and down. Every home in Grenada have a piece of galvanized. They get from Dr. Mitchell. Under Dr. Mitchell, all you ungrateful, all you say thanks, no? Say thanks. That man in do all you not, that man help all you. That man. But God's going to give him his reward. God's going to give him his reward. When my family come from America, they born in town of St. George. They don't know where St. John Street is. They're in Melville Street and they don't know the place changed. And this is in power now and they don't start to walk yet. They don't start to walk. Are you giving them all the praise? All the praise. All the praise. Dr. Mitchell walk in this country. Mr. David walk. Mr. Harris Modest. None of you only recognize these people of the hard work. They sweat. They bust their brain to help build Grenada. Are you wicked bitch and them excuse me. Good night.
All right, Carrie, good night. 4407377 and watch some secondary school students meet me today and does listen to the program in the night. So we have to be very careful with our language. Yes, some secondary, you know, it have some local ones like the local Zoe and the local Zayla and them. So we have to be a little careful. 4407377 and folks, just reminding you before I get some lash, just reminding you of the St. Mark's Parliamentary Office and friends. Yes, they have Breadfruit Fest. It's coming. All right, so it's taking place on the 9th. That's next week Friday, not this Friday, but the following Friday, the Friday after Independence. So those are you on the one-way ticket. Make sure you go back after, right? So it have Breadfruit Fest coming up. Nice. So you have roast breadfruit, you have breadfruit puff, you have seasoned and baked breadfruit, garlic sauteed breadfruit, breadfruit spice seasoned breadfruit oilong and breadfruit drinks. They have all different type of breadfruit. You have breadfruit and all. They have all kind of breadfruit. You might even say mango breadfruit, all kind of thing, right? So they're going to be having music. They're going to be having, you could get your drinks and different things. And that's starting from 11 a.m. They say until 9 p.m. But I go say until breadfruit done. All right, nice. And let me tell you something, yeah? Don't play all this sticking. If you could go early, go early. It have a group of people that's pass across around lunchtime. They passed across last year. When they passed across last year lunchtime, so they leave the place lean on her. So make sure that you get there on time. All right, and we know some people go be finishing, you finish work and you're looking to get up to St. Mark and so on to go and partake. Right, so to make sure they have things ready for all you too. All right, so even you want your roast breadfruit, your breadfruit fritters, your breadfruit puff, all different things. Breadfruit fest, breadfruit punch, everything. Breadfruit, you're going to get it there at Breadfruit Fest. That's going to be taking place on February the 9th, 2024. And I'm looking here, I'm trying to find the information for the St. David's Women's Arm. Yeah, the St. David's Women's Arm. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, the St. David's Women's Arm. They are having that breakfast. Yeah, they are having that breakfast sale in assistance of our good brother. That's Mr. Wayne. They usually call him Turkey. Yeah, so I'm looking for that. It's taking place. I'm trying to remember if it's Friday or Saturday. St. David's people, one all here. Message me quick. Message me. Because we nearly out of time and I don't want to finish the program without letting people know. It's going to be at the St. David's constituency office there. That's in Lassa, just there. You can pass down there and get it. So I'm just looking. I know I saw a message with it today. Somebody from St. David. Quickly, message me. Yes, okay. So that's going to be taking place on Saturday, the 2nd. The Saturday is the 2nd? No, Saturday is not the 2nd. That's why you tie me up. Yeah. If it's taking place on Saturday, is Saturday the 2nd? No, I don't think Saturday is the 2nd. I think Saturday is the 3rd. But anyway, so it's Saturday, and that's going to be at the... Well, send the information for me. Let me see if I could get it out before we've completed tonight, because we only have roughly about just a few minutes remaining. So give me a quick call and let me know when, or a quick message and let me know exactly. All right. So folks, right. It's on the 3rd of February at the party office, and they start from 6 a.m. So that's in Lassa Jess, right? You see my St. David's people listening, just like my St. John's people listening, right? So that's taking place this Saturday at the party office there in Lassa Jess. And let me see, yes, it's starting from 6 a.m. So they're going to have various things on sale. All proceeds go in aid of our brother Turkey. Yeah, and I'll give a little story with Turkey already. And you all have heard the situation with him. I'm just waiting to get the bank account number, because a few people have messaged. They want to know if they can help, as small as it is, if they can give something and so. So I'm just trying to get the bank account number so that you all can put it directly into the bank account on his behalf, right? So I'm just trying to get a bank account number to pass on to you all, that you all will be able to give that information to brother. You all will be able to make your donations to brother Turkey. All right. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to close off phone line from about I think I want to close off the phone line for now, folks. Just remember, tomorrow night we will be having a discussion with brother Alvin Dabrio. We're going to be speaking about St. John. I see people talking about St. John cricket competition. They know very well the past year. In Loreto was wet and no cricket in play, but posing and taking picture and talking about 50th Independence cricket competition. They know very well not now. I mean, what you had a lie for? If it's big dogs, it's big dogs. If it's big boys, it's big boys. But what you had a lie for? But anyway, tomorrow night we're going to be having that discussion with my good brother, Alvin Dabrio. He's going to be on with us. We're going to be having a discussion with him. We'll be speaking other things as well, but he'll be on with us for about an hour tomorrow night. And then remember, make your notes on Friday, and I think we're going to start at 7 on Friday. Let me repeat that. I believe we're going to start on 7 on Friday, because I want to get enough time to get enough of your calls in relation to who you believe. So you're calling, you're saying who it is, or who the people, you may have numerous, more than one, that you believe should be on the list, and give a reason why. Yeah? Don't call with 50, because you might give anybody else a chance to be able to get on. So at least if you call with a 5 or whatever it is that you believe supposed to be on the list. And if you hear somebody call with that one already, there is no need to call back with the same person and so. So on Friday, we're going to be discussing who the 50 people we really feel. And this comes from the people. There's no committee, because they ain't even have a committee doing that. Right? They ain't even have a committee putting up this kind of thing and so on. So we're doing it. Yeah? We're doing it. we're going to be discussing on Friday. I see that Made in Grenada has a list out. Check the Made in Grenada Facebook page. I see they have a list out of the 50, what they consider to be the 50 biggest tunes since independence. Yeah, the 50 biggest tunes since independence. And let me see if I could grab that quick before our movement, because they gave the first 10. And let me see what they have as the first 10 biggest tunes, because some of these tunes I know them, you know. Yeah, Innocent, not number 50, Innocent Blood, Flying Turkey and Jaman. That's from 1980. Number 49, Gifted by Dash in 2018. 48, 6 for 9 by Randy Isaac from 1996. Number 47, This Is Home by Sabrina Francis in 2013. Number 46, 473 by Mr. Golden in 2020. Let me see what they have there. 45, Take It Back by Janice Childs in 2003. 44, Trouble in the Morning by Vaughn in 2019. 43, Agnes Forrester with Join Hands in 1988. Some of you know about that tune and that person, eh? Ask about Morse International. And thing, right, Agnes and the band, right, nice. 42, Take It to Them, Top Striker by Wasways. Right, that they have a kind of tie for two things there, right? 2016 and 2018. 41, Runaway Church Girl by Defender, 1978. I'm kind of interested in seeing what Made in Grenada coming with for the rest of the list. That is the top 10. Well, not the top 10. That is number 50 down to number 40. Number 50 to number 40. I believe that is they have there. To 41. 41 to 50. All right, so I'm interested in hearing what they have. But when it comes to the top 50 Grenadians, we're having that discussion on Friday night. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. In everything you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. My name is Sheldon Scott. I am out of here. Love each and every one of you, and I will be back with you tomorrow night, God's willing.
Looking back 5 decades ago, it's really not that long. Before you blink, it's the next 5 more, just so 1 century done. 'Cause time does fly and people change, nothing is ever sure. But if one thing we can all agree, Grenada was here before. It was about 2 million years ago. Grenada came from a volcano, and tribal people lived on this land. Then the French and the British came, but Gary had a different aim, to ask the Queen to free us up from England. Happy 50 golden years. The past was risky, with guns and tears, but you never break Grenada. You face your fears, and to the future, with God we are prepared. Despite the odds were against us, in trials we went through. Revolution, Janet and Ivan, now the Corona too. We always bounce back stronger, resilience in we blood, never settle.